Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with CropSite.com, and today we're here with Mitch Heisler. He's an agronomist with Whiffles Hybrids and also works with the marketing department there. So, Mitch, tell us a little bit. I guess we're going into the mid-season for corn production, and we've just come out of this cool, wet planting season. What does that mean for pest pressure and disease pressure moving into the rest of the season through harvest?
Sure. Well, I mean, and like you said, it was a wet spring for us, so some of the corn was planted a little bit later than we might be used to, but really we're right on target as far as the development of the corn this time. And we've reached the number of heating units that we look for to start seeing Japanese beetles and corn rootworm beetles also emerging into the cornfields. And so as we go and see a lot of tassels and silks appearing in the next week or two, that'll be something to definitely keep an eye on, because if we see a lot of silk clipping from those insects, it can really be a detriment to pollination and really affect the yield in the end. Another thing, since it has been wet and humid, we are starting to see a lot of corn diseases move into cornfields. We've had gray leaf spot, anthracnose, and northern corn leaf blight all spotted in Iowa, as well as Goss's wilt, which, as we know, is a bacterial disease. So for those other diseases, they're great to keep an eye on to see if it would warrant a fungicide application yet this month. And Goss's wilt is one that you want to keep an eye on, just so you know how to better manage that field going into next year.
Very good. What do you think, kind of going into harvest? Is the pest pressure a concern, kind of from a yield standpoint at this point in time, or is this, with all of the traits in the seed, is this something people have to be concerned about, or just work with your agronomist to see if you need some later sprays?
Sure. I mean, obviously the best thing to do is to work with your trusted advisors and to take a look at your field on an individual basis. I think in general, some things that I would say is that as we do see some silks emerging, and both Japanese beetles and rootworm beetles have a tendency to really be attracted to those silks and do a lot of silk clipping. So if that happens before the corn is pollinated, it can really have an effect on the pollination of the corn, which in the end will affect the yield. But I think we're starting to realize that both pests and diseases are more of a year-round management process, and so always knowing what's out in your fields will not only help you hold the potential you have for this year, but also create the greatest potential for your crop going into next year.
Very good. Thanks so much, Mitch, for your time. We really appreciate it. This is Sarah Mikesell for the CropSite.com.